Welcome back to Good Morning Cleveland on News 5.
Now at 5:30, a treatment center expanding its reach. We'll tell you how many more people they're going to be able to help.
And a tough night for the Browns, but there is hope today. The event that'll help people in need across Northeast Ohio. But first, we want to check in with Trent, who is tracking our work week weather. Morning, Trent.
Ooh, good morning, Homer. Good morning, Katie. Good morning, Northern Ohio. We're talking about a couple clouds just rolling through this morning. We'll clear it out later on today. We'll get some more sunshine. We'll warm it back up into the mid-70s. Not a bad day today. After we get through today, we're going to push all of this to the north, and I've got incredible warmth. I mean, I've got summer, midsummer heat coming our way for a few days. Not today, though. Today, the clouds this morning are going to keep us a little bit below the average. Still mid-70s, still going to be a nice day. Just got to get through a couple of these little passing morning light showers. I don't expect it to slow down your morning drive. I don't expect to slow down the bus rides. I don't expect it to slow anything down this morning. Just maybe a couple runs of those wipers. Probably not even worth really bringing an umbrella. Very light stuff. Rocky River looking outside. You're dry. And temperatures really aren't bad either. I've got 60s for the most part, 50s and 60s. So we're doing okay. University Heights is 60, Brunswick's at 60, Worcester's at 56 right now. It's a cool start to the day. It's about to get a whole lot warmer. Today, we get sunshine and mid-70s. Tomorrow, we get sunshine and wind and middle and upper 80s. Guys, I'm talking 80s coming back. When we get the warmth and the humidity, we have to talk thunderstorms also, though. We'll map it all out in a few minutes, guys.
Give those sweaters a break. All right, Trent, thank you. A grandma claims a worker at Green Primary School bullied her 9-year-old grandson.
She says the way they handled an outstanding lunch debt she feels was inappropriate. Could have been handled better. News 5's Jesse Schultz is live outside that school. Jesse, the school says it's learning from this.
Yeah, they told us they don't want any kids' experience in the lunchroom to be negative, but for 9-year-old Jefferson Sharpneck, that is exactly what it was last week. Jefferson had a school lunch debt of $9. His grandma says she was working on getting him enrolled in the free and reduced lunch program, though it wasn't finalized yet. She thought everything was fine. But last week on Jefferson's 9th birthday, after he had already received lunch, a school worker came over and took that lunch. A school worker came over and took that
anything, took away my cheesy breadsticks and sauce, put them over there, and took out bread, cheese on bread out of the fridge and put it on my lunch tray.
There has to be a different way to handle it at the school. That's just my issue with this.
The school told us that they have talked to that cafeteria worker and are addressing the way that they handle people and families who have school lunch debt, and they want every experience again to be positive in that cafeteria. I'm live in Green, Jesse Schultz, News 5.
Jesse, thank you. 5:32. The sale of 10 Akron Public School properties will now go before the school board. Today, 6 local buyers bid on the properties during an auction. That happened last month, and the sales total more than $600,000 and will be used to improve other schools. Our partners at the Akron Beacon Journal report a former Akron councilman and a local restaurateur are among the buyers. The school board needs to approve all these sales.
Also today, a drug treatment center in Cleveland is hosting a groundbreaking ceremony for a new detox unit. Stella Maris is located in the west bank of the Flats. The facility says it is struggling to keep up with the demand for treatment during the opioid crisis. The $6 million expansion will triple the space and allow staff to take on an additional 3,300 new clients a year. The groundbreaking starts at 1:30 this afternoon. Construction is expected to be done by June 2020.
A memorial continues to grow outside Miola Catering in Ashtabula. The flowers and crosses are all in honor of a well-known businessman, Tom Miola. He was found dead in his Painesville home Saturday morning. He was last seen Friday night at an event he was catering. The next day, his friends could not reach him. Officers found him dead at his home in his Jeep, stolen from the driveway. Painesville police are investigating his death as a homicide, and they're asking anyone with information to call them. 4 days ago, the grandson of Cleveland's mayor was arrested. He's been indicted by a grand jury for charges stemming from an assault in June.
Today, he will go before a judge. Meg Shaw is live at the Justice Center to break this down for us. Hi, Meg.
Hey, good morning, Homa and Katie. It is a case that has drawn attention for several days now, but in just a few hours, Frank Q. Jackson will be arraigned here at the Justice Center on 4 felony charges. Now, the 22-year-old grandson of the mayor is facing felonious assault, abduction, and failure to comply charges, all stemming from a case earlier this summer where he's accused of beating and strangling an 18-year-old woman. On Friday, Cleveland's law department defended their decision to not charge Jackson in the case, saying the Cleveland Metropolitan Housing Authority detective failed to provide all evidence in the case, and that when facts and evidence are withheld, they cannot make an educated and informed decision. Meanwhile, the county said they did have enough evidence to move forward with the case, and a grand jury indicted Jackson. Now, he is scheduled to be arraigned this morning at 8:30. Meanwhile, just down the street from here at City Hall, a protest is scheduled for 10 o'clock where protesters are planning to call for the resignation of Mayor Frank Jackson. We will keep you updated on everything that happens today. Live at the Justice Center, Meg Shaw, News 5.
Thanks, Meg. The head of Dayton's VA Medical Center is taking on a new role in Cleveland. The U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs says Jill Dietrich will become the new director of the VA Northeast Ohio healthcare system. She starts September 29th.
Up next, a sky-high flight affecting people on the ground. The reason why pilots are going on strike this morning.
Plus, Apple's big announcement set for tomorrow. A quick look at what to expect.
As we head to break, here's a look at last night's winning lottery numbers.
Most watched in Cleveland. News 5 at 6 with Rob, Danita, and Mark.
Need a new air conditioning unit? If your air conditioner is 20 years old, it may be time to replace it. Purchase a new Sal's brand air conditioner from Sal's HVAC full product line. Call to schedule a free in-home assessment today.
Hi, I'm Mike.
And I'm Gail. It's time to give that wet, cracked basement the boot.
Ohio Basement Systems can help.
We'll waterproof that basement and can fix that nasty crawl space too.
Imagine being happy going into the basement again.
Been over 20 years now and no complaints. Been over 20, 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 over 20,
free
over 20.
National warranty.
And don't forget our 5-star rating.
Basement Systems, bringing basements back to life.
Injured? A few clicks is all it takes to find out if you might need a lawyer. Go to nphm.com and use Nuremberg Paris's interactive Case No Case tool. No personal information. Just answer a few questions about what happened, and you'll get the answers you need to help you make the right choice. Fast, easy, free, and confidential. It's the Case No Case tool. Only online at Nuremberg Paris. Visit nphm.com. Nuremberg Paris, fighting for the injured since 1928.
This fall, book 2 separate qualifying stays at choicehotels.com and earn a free night. Because when your business is rewarding yourself, our business is you. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
Cracker Barrel makes every meal one to remember, with favorites like Sunday home-style chicken now available every day. And our new sweet and smoky home-style chicken BLT for $8.99. Come on home to Scratch Made. Come on home to Cracker Barrel.
There's something about this place you can't understand till you've been here. Everyone feels it. Not too many can explain it. It just gets a hold of you, gets inside you. We come here to find that thing we've been missing. And it's there, everywhere we look.
Window World calls bogus on those buy one, get one gimmicks. Our bottom line pricing means you'll pay less for high quality windows, including those phony gimmicks out there. Don't buy bogus. Call 1-800-NEW-WINDOW or visit windowworld.com.
5:38. Good Monday morning. Welcome back into the work week. I got a few morning clouds and maybe an isolated shower or two. We'll map that out in a minute here. Just know that I got some more afternoon sunshine and then a whole lot of warmth coming through midweek and then lasting until probably the weekend. With heat, with humidity, we got to start talking about some more unsettled weather and more thunderstorms, but none today. I mean, today's not bad at all. Cloudy this morning. We're at 58 in Mentor, 57 in Canton. Same thing for Millersburg, 57, 53 right now in Worcester. Nice, calm, not a whole lot going on to kick off the day. Later on today, we'll see some more sunshine. We'll make it back into the mid-70s, but I've got 80s, a good 10, 15-degree jump in temperatures tomorrow, and we hold that heat. We add some more humidity, and then we add thunderstorms to the forecast. So we got a lot of stuff to break down on your full forecast coming up in about 5 or 10 minutes here, so stick around for that.
Here's what's happening today. President Trump will hold a campaign rally tonight in Fayetteville, North Carolina, just one day before a special election in the state's 9th district, following an investigation into widespread fraud during the 2018 midterm race. Congress returns to Washington from its August recess today. At the top of the to-do list, a September 30th deadline to fund the government for the 2020 fiscal year, which begins October 1st. Lawmakers will also discuss a legislative response to last month's deadly shootings in Texas and Ohio. Jury selection is set to begin today in the trial of Yu Xingjiang. The Chinese national is facing federal charges of trespassing at President Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort this past March. The 33-year-old Shanghai business consultant fired her public defender back in June and has been acting as her own attorney. We'll be right back. You've probably seen the ads on TV talking about how the Chinese government is quietly invading our electric grid.
The ad warns against you giving them your name on a petition that would, they say, defund American jobs and energy. John Kosick is taking a closer look in this News 5 original.
Dyer doesn't begin to describe the tone of the ads now playing across Ohio.
The Chinese government is quietly invading our American electric grid, intertwining themselves financially in our energy infrastructure.
Now, to be clear, President Xi is not amassing troops with extension cords off the shores of Lake Erie, ready to storm the gates of Perry Nuclear or Cleveland Public Power. Now, this warning is, in simple terms, a good old-fashioned American political ad.
It is. So you go negative, you go dark, you try to project simple images that get people's attention, particularly about an issue that nobody's really following.
It's an offshoot of this year's fight over HB 6, the so-called nuclear bailout bill that benefited the new owners of the Perry and Davis-Besse nuclear plants while weakening incentives for renewable power. Those who want to overturn HB 6 are collecting signatures to put the question before voters in 2020. Where China comes into play is the fact that several natural gas projects in Ohio have reportedly legally borrowed money from the state-controlled Bank of China. So if those companies benefit from the repeal of HB 6, the Bank of China could benefit, and they argue invade our electric grid.
So this idea that a Chinese bank is somehow financing this as a way to wiggle their way into somehow having financial control over our energy system is a very clear and compelling story to get people not only to not vote for this if it gets on the ballot, but I've never seen before to actually go after people who have the petitions to sign to get it on the ballot.
John Kosick, News 5.
Right now, most British Airways flights have been grounded because the pilots started a 48-hour strike today. This is over profit sharing. They say the airline is not giving enough money to them. Britain's Prime Minister is asking both sides to figure it out and end this dispute. British Airways does partner with American Airlines, and right now it's unclear if any flights here will be affected.
The U.S. Coast Guard is looking into this cargo ship accident. The ship capsized off the Georgia coast yesterday. Right now, 4 crew members are still missing. It's still not clear what caused it to actually flip over. Crews say pulling it back up will not be easy.
You're going to use a number of massive tugs to move it, to pull it back into an upright floating position. It's going to be a very delicate job. It'll take probably a couple of weeks to do it.
Officials say there is no active release of pollution, but a swimming advisory is in effect for nearby beaches.
The Big Apple is taking T-Mobile to court. New York City filed a lawsuit claiming T-Mobile violated New York's consumer protection law. They say they're selling used phones as new. The city also claims T-Mobile has adopted other deceptive practices, including enrolling customers in expensive plans without their consent and lying about the refund policy. T-Mobile tells USA Today it's taking the allegations very seriously.
Apple's big product unveiling event is happening tomorrow, so what can we expect to see? Well, according to reports, Apple will likely show off three reports. Apple likely show. Also suggests Apple Watch will get a refresh, along with updates for iPads, MacBooks, and Apple TV hardware.
Volunteer chefs from around the world are helping feed Hurricane Dorian survivors. That Cat 5 storm devastated the northern Bahamas. World Central Kitchen, as it's called, it's a nonprofit, cooked and served 20,000 meals to dozens of locations. And they will be back at it today. They're using seaplanes, helicopters, and boats to reach those communities essentially now cut off from the world. So far, at least 44 deaths have been confirmed in the Bahamas, but that number is expected to rise. All right, let's check in with your forecast with meteorologist Trent Miguel.
Yeah, check it out. I want to show you this. This is our dew points. We're talking about some comfortable weather coming our way, and it's been here for a little bit. Just check out a little farther off towards the south and southwest. You know that orange, those warmer looking colors? That's coming our way. That'll be here essentially the rest of the week. Let's see if we can actually go to the next little graphic here for me before I zoom out on the planet. Anyway, we're looking at some nicer weather coming in today and some big time warmth coming in the rest of the week. So here's Vermilion outside right now. Not bad. You can see a couple waves outside, but the lake's not bad. We're not going to have a whole lot of wind, maybe a 5 to 10 mile per hour northeast wind today. Still keeping our temperatures nice and still keeping the lake not bad. Maybe 1 to 2, max 3-footers out on the lake. Most of the time it should be not bad. After we get through today, after we get through these little morning showers, we're going to start to clear it out and then warm it up. Right now, I'm not looking at a lot of rain. Had some rain earlier, pulling out of the Ravenna area earlier this morning. I still got a couple showers up near Detroit. Most of that's going to stay north. Most of us will not have to run the wipers this morning. And if we don't do it this morning, we're not going to need it later on today either. We've got upper 60s, low 70s by lunchtime. Check out what happens this afternoon, though. We clear it out a little bit more. We'll make it back into the mid-70s, 70 to about 75 degrees. Now, this evening, we're still relatively clear and still relatively calm. But winds are going to be shifting. Instead of the northeast, they're going to be coming more out of the east and then southeast late tonight. Watch what happens overnight tonight. Those southeast winds and a few clouds, they keep us out of the 40s, 50s, and 60s, similar to this morning. But watch what happens tomorrow afternoon. Look at the 80s coming back. All the rain, this whole front lifts well to the north, and I've got nothing but nice, very summer-like temperatures. Then the humidity comes back, and then we got to start talking thunderstorm chances on Wednesday. Tomorrow still shouldn't be as incredibly humid as it's going to be late week, but we are going to get in on that heat. So those ACs are going to have to run them again. I've got light morning rain, clouds thinning out today. Maybe open the windows up for now, let some of that cool, fresh air in if you didn't have them open all night. But you're going to want to shut them because we've got 70s later on today. I've got a pretty mild evening, a pretty mild night with winds shifting more to the southeast. And then tomorrow it's just all warmth, all heat, 87 sunshine-filled degrees. Mornings, much warmer. That's that humidity coming back. I've got 70s for mornings, and that's when you're going to start to feel it. Warm mornings, hot afternoons, few thunderstorms Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Pretty summer-like, guys.
Summer is not going anywhere. All right, Trent, thank you. Check this out. Street sweepers worked late into the night, cleaning up the Muni lot at First Energy Stadium. There was so much excitement, anticipation, and optimism leading up to the Browns home opener yesterday. So it was a huge disappointment when the Browns fell to the Titans. But, you know, there is always next week. The Browns play the Jets in Monday Night Football. And, of course, fans were not so happy about the loss, but the team says it is time for them to focus on their next game. John Dawes spoke to players after the game to get their take on fan expectations.
Well, this was the big fear, the addition of Odell Beckham Jr., Olivier Vernon in the offseason. Of course, the second-year jump for quarterback Baker Mayfield. Expectations were sky high for this team following this offseason. The question now, were they too high? The Browns came out and fell flat on their face here in the 2019 season opener. That question posed to Odell Beckham Jr. after the ball game.
No disrespect to y'all, but we don't really listen to y'all. It's not like when we go line up, like we're like, oh, I remember what he said, you know, and we have to go out and do that. Like, this is still football, you know. So there's really no hype or expectations. There's a confidence within this group, and that's just what this team has.
We don't care about anything that's going outside of our building. You know, this is not something that's going to define us. You know, something that, you know, at some point was going to happen, and it's happened, and now we got to find a way to and now find a way to of our build find a way to of our build.
Tonight is the annual Taste of the Browns event. It benefits the Greater Cleveland Food Bank.
As we head into the holiday season, it is a busy time here at the food bank. It's actually busy year-round, and we want to make sure that we have the food that we need to be able to make sure that people in our area do not go hungry.
The event is sold out, but you can still take part in the online auction. Items include a signed Baker Mayfield helmet, VIP experiences at local restaurants, and a chance to throw out the first pitch at an Indians game. You can find much more information right now on the News 5 app.
More than 100 people turned out for the first ever Cleveland Transgender Celebration. It happened yesterday at Edgewater Park. Organizers say it was a day of food, music, and friendship.
The community is kind of splintered, so it's nice to have spaces like this for people to come together and have a chance to interact. I've met quite a few people today already.
Organizers say they plan to make the event even bigger next year.
Lake Metro Parks is again hosting its Halloween hay rides. It is sold out, but you can still volunteer for the spooktacular event. You will need to register on the Lake Metro Parks website if you do want to help out. The hay rides are Friday and Saturday nights, October 11th through the 26th.
All right, this is a club we should all want to be a part of. It is called the Saved by the Belt Club. In July, Kyle Dunkel was in a serious crash down in Wayne County. He was wearing his seatbelt, and troopers say that is what saved his life. This weekend, he got inducted into the club, getting a certificate and license plate bracket. The Ohio State Highway Patrol is one of 400 law enforcement agencies who've teamed up with the Ohio Department of Public Safety for the Saved by the Belt Club. She may have won the lottery, but she is still heading to class today. An Ohio Head Start teacher recently won a $5 million jackpot on a scratch-off ticket. The Ohio Lotto says she can get a lump sum cash payment or get $250,000 every year for the next 20 years. All of the other teachers wanted to know if she was still going to work. Well, she says she still plans to teach, but would let her husband retire. Woo, what a woman.
That is nice of her. NASA is hoping a little star power will help get younger people excited about space. Some interns at NASA's Johnson Space Center put their own spin on an Ariana Grande song.
Failure's not an option or an issue. Oh, our mission is the goal that we commit to. And the science that we do is beneficial. We'll explore the universe because we're NASA.
I dig it. The original lyrics to Grande's song, NASA, is about a woman who needs some space from her boyfriend. You know, a little different, but hey, it really ended up working. NASA is sharing the lyrics for this new song to get people again excited to get back to space because they want to put an American back on the moon by 2024. And then, of course, beyond, they're thinking Mars. According to the space agency, the educational parody is part of a volunteer outreach project.
That's awesome. That's cool. NASA. That might be my new jam. Anyway, we're talking about a couple little showers heading around this morning. They're all mainly north, Detroit, up and over the lake. Any of this activity you're seeing, let me see if I can draw a little circle on it. This right here is not rain. That is just a little feedback from the radar. It happens essentially every single morning. So a couple little showers this morning in spots. Most of us, though, dry. 74 for a high today. Then we're talking about 50s overnight tonight. We'll talk 80s tomorrow. Coming up.